All right, we'll go on the record. Case is entitled State of Kansas versus Jamal Lamont Solomon, 20 CR 28. Will counsel announce appearances, please?
May it please the court, the state appears by Judicial County Attorney.
Your Honor, the defendant appears by Zoom from the Elk County Jail, and I'm Gary House, his attorney.
All right, we are here for hearing on a warrant to show cause announcements. Mr. House.
Your Honor, we do not have a resolution of the case. I think the county attorney and I can, and possibly Mr. Bauer can make our recommendations to you and then leave the decision to you. We would stipulate that the costs haven't been paid off and that defendant has tested positive in some of these drug tests over the years. And but I think we each have recommendations on how it ought to be disposed, and they're not exactly the same. So,
okay, there's also allegations that he hasn't reported as directed and hasn't obtained employment and has admitted to marijuana and methamphetamine use. Is he stipulating to all of those?
As to the employment situation, he has had a job for the last month with an investment company that remodels homes. And they, in fact, have assisted him today in coming up with a sum of money which he can pay on costs, $400 to be precise, and indicated they could loan him the balance of whatever costs there are to try to get this case resolved.
What about not reporting as directed? Is he stipulating to that?
Yes.
All right, I will find that you've made a knowing and voluntary waiver of hearing and admitted to the violations as alleged. Miss Gillette, what is your recommendations for the disposition?
Judge, the defendant was sentenced to 12 months underlying suspended for probation. His sentencing was almost 3 years, almost 3 years ago. Essentially, we've had to have multiple extensions and revocations because he disappeared last time for 8 months. This time we're sitting here and he's disappeared again, stopped reporting, had positives and admissions for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times before he took off again. He's paid maybe $40 in 3 years. He was recommended to get a drug and alcohol evaluation and get treatment. He doesn't. I remember making the same argument at his last revocation hearing that he doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to quit using drugs. He doesn't want to do his treatment. He doesn't want to comply with any of the court orders at all. And he disappears every time. Basically, I have to ask for him to serve part of or all of his underlying. When you make a plea and you agree to that kind of term to hang over your head. Now, I am willing to recommend the court shorten his sentence a little bit, but otherwise, he's essentially spent 3 years making Mr. Bauer have to chase him around. And that's Mr. Bauer isn't supposed to have to chase him. You know, he does not demonstrate he can follow the court orders. He's not amenable to probation. Frankly, I think he needs to serve his sentence and have the rest of his costs sent to collections. I know that it's important for the victims to get paid. So if the restitution part was paid, I would agree to have him serve 6 months instead of 12, because then the victims are made whole. But otherwise, he agreed to serve 12 months in the Elk County Jail. And he's forfeited the ability to be out in the public because he can't stop breaking the law and he's not amenable to probation.
Miss Gillette, due to the computer situation, I'm not able to access my docket notes. How many revocations has Mr. Solomon had?
I don't remember, this is his second or his third. Let me look, Judge.
We did an extension at the end of his first year. He signed an extension and then there was a revocation filed the following year. So this is his second revocation.
Do you recall what the result was of the first revocation hearing?
He had a sanction for the time that he had been in custody. He admitted to not making any payments. He had 72 days of time served at that time. And you ordered an extension of his probation to try to give him more time to try to make more payments. And he had an extension before that one. So essentially, he did a voluntary extension because he hadn't been doing what he needed to do. Then we had the revocation, gave him a 72-day sanction.
Is he in jail now?
Yes. Isn't he?
No,
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was arrested on the warrant, bonded out. He is not in custody at this time.
All right, thank you. Mr. House, what are your recommendations?
Your Honor, I realize this case is almost 3 years old. What we would recommend under all the circumstances is I realize he's violated terms of probation in many ways. He served about 3 months on a 12-month sentence. States indicated they would consider modifying that down. They give the man who now has a job just an opportunity to pay this off within 10 days and do a 10-day sanction, broken up into 5 weekends so that he can keep his job.
Mr. Solomon, anything you would like to say?
yeah, I messed up without paying and everything like that, but I don't know, it's hard to do everything by myself when I got kids to take care of and stuff like that, but I mean, I can have the payments paid, I can have it paid up within the 10 days after I pay the $400 today. And I mean, I don't mind doing the weekend sanctions if that's possible.
So you've had 3 years, over 3 years to get this paid and comply with your probation. You should have been done with this case 2 years ago. The terms and conditions weren't very burdensome. All you had to do was report, stay clean, and pay on fines and restitution. And you haven't been able to do that for 3 years.
All I'm asking is a chance, please, one more chance.
You've had a chance when you got probation to begin with. You got a second chance on your first revocation hearing, and that didn't get your attention. So now you're here again.
I can
What
guarantee.
assurances does the court have that you would follow through this time?
It's a guarantee. I have that money paid within 10 days. It's a guarantee.
Mr. Solomon, this is not just about money.
Ms.
This is
Gillette,
also-
I'm addressing Mr. Solomon. You've had your opportunity to make your recommendations. All right, Mr. Solomon, your probation has been a failure. I'm not going to give you that third chance. I'm going to order that your probation be revoked and you serve the balance of your sentence. I will make one agreement to where if you pay off $500, which would be the restitution to make the victim of your case paid in full, I'll modify your sentence to 8 months. But that $500 payment has to be made in order to get that modification. I'll
Okay.
grant you any time served you have toward your sentence.
Your Honor,
I'll waive any attorney's fees associated with this hearing.
Your Honor, how would I pay the $500 if I'm in jail?
Well, apparently you brought 400 with you, then you'd have to come up with another $100 and I'd modify it down to 8 months.
From jail? All right, can I have like a couple day, a week or so to get the money up, the rest of the money up? Please.
No,
I'm not even 24 hours.
Mr. Solomon, you don't have a good track record with this court.
I report it every day. Every time I report
You've had 3 years to get employed and get this paid off. I've made my order. You've got 30 days to tender the 500 if you want the modification to 8 months.
So okay, I got 30 days while I'm in jail. How can I do anything from jail, sir?
Well, lots of people are able to obtain money from family members, friends, employers while they're incarcerated.
I don't have any family up here, sir. I'm up here by myself. I don't have any. my family-
My orders have been made. Anything further, Ms. Gillette
Not from the state, Your Honor.
and Mr. House?
Yeah, then I understand that the 12-month sentence stands unless he pays $500 within 30 days,
That's
which
correct.
would do away with restitution. But you are, as to attorney fees, you're waiving the attorney fees today. What about the initial attorney fees?
I'm not waiving any additional fees other than the attorney's fees for today's hearing. Anything previously ordered has already been ordered and is not being waived.
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. I'm gonna lose my house and everything, sir. Please.
Mr. Solomon, you should have thought about that when you
So
got
how-
put on probation. My
Okay.
orders have been made.
How much time do I have served on this
If
case
there's
already?
nothing further, we'll be in recess.
I have served on the case already.
Mr. Solomon, you are excused.
How much time do I have served on this case so I can know how much time I have to do?
The jail will be able to give you how much time you've got accumulated.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, we're in recess.